The Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas, otherwise known as ANPA. If you watch Sunrise regularly, I'm sure you would have heard of them before because they're here every year. It represents the professional interests of 4,000 plus physicians, dentists, and allied health professionals of Nigerian birth, ethnicity, or empathy in the United States, Canada, and the Caribbean, providing a platform for medical and scientific dialogue on issues of health within North America and the Caribbean and Africa, pertinent to persons of descent from the Nigerian diaspora. All that is grammar. They are Nigerian health workers.
That's right.
Working either in the Americas or in the Caribbean. And every year they come home to give back to the country of their, should I say, origin?
That's right.
That's what it is. So it's my pleasure to welcome the president of ANPA, Dr. Clifford Eke. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
And he's come along with Dr. Wale Kukoyi, who's a Rotary District 911 governor.
Yes, thank you.
Just happens to be a doctor as well. And an honorary member of ANPA, Mr. George Itomi.
Not a doctor?
Whose brother was president of his identical twin brother.
That's right.
Was the president of ANPA. Good morning and thank you.
My pleasure. Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year. We know you more to talk about
those matters.
Those matters. Yes. So, welcome.
Thank you.
To all of you. ANPA is coming to Nigeria very soon. And normally, if I'm not mistaken, the president, you normally concentrate on certain areas for every outreach that you come for. Am I correct?
Correct.
So what is your focus this year?
Good. Thanks, first of all, for having us, to you and Mr. John Momo, who is also a friend of ANPA.
He's not an honorary member yet.
He is not, but we'll give him awards because he's been very gracious to ANPA, and I want to thank him publicly over the years through the association of the Etomis. As you know, we come to Nigeria every year, what we call ANPA Week, where we come to do free medical, surgical, dental, ophthalmic care, education, and healthcare advocacy. And this year, though, 2025, is special because ANPA will be 30 years old. And normally, we do our ANPA week, then we'll go back to the US and we'll have our annual scientific convention there, usually in June or July. But this time, because of this milestone we're celebrating, 30th anniversary, we decided to combine our biggest events of the year in Lagos. So come April 4 to 9, we'll be having our usual ANPA week, which I've described, and mainly focusing on not just taking care of patients, but training and capacity building with our local colleagues. And we have centers here, I'll talk more about it. We're collaborating with Luth, FMC Butemeta, Indo Eye Clinic, and also Rotary is part of one of our partners, and Lagos State is also involved. Then after that, from April 10 to 12, we now have our annual scientific conference or convention at Eco Hotel. And you all are invited, obviously. This is where we talk about, our theme is advancing patient care, with emphasis on leadership, research, and strategic investment. And then the sub-theme is aligning healthcare sector in Nigeria with the diaspora to improve healthcare in Nigeria, along with the vision of our president, who is encouraging diaspora to get more involved in all aspects of life here, and to minimize the Japa syndrome and encourage Japada, so we can come back and give. And hopefully the environment can be more conducive, so we don't just come for our ANPA week,
Do what we can run away.
exactly, but actually have a business opportunity, which we're going to discuss with the Lagos State government and federal government, where we can then get foothold here and actually stay longer than usual.
When you say Japa, it sounds like a city somewhere.
Japa. Japa to Japata.
Just for context.
Dr. Kukoyi, Rotary District 911.
9111.
111. Okay.
Yes.
Now, you are partners to ANPA this year. What exactly is your involvement?
Well, thank you very much, and once again, we thank you for inviting us here. I'm here in two capacities. First, as a honorary member of ANPA, which I'm very, very proud about. Thank you for.
Oh, by the way, are you a medical doctor?
Yes,
I'm a
he
medical
is.
doctor.
He owns Ace Medical Center. Sorry to interrupt.
No problem.
And 2 years ago, he actually hosted this ANPA week at his hospital.
Yes.
The pleasure is mine.
Okay, thank you very much. Rotary is partnering with ANPA, or has been partnering with ANPA, and we're very proud of that collaboration. You know, ANPA, like has been introduced, caters for so many physicians of Nigerian descent. Rotary International, we are an international organization with over 1.4 million, and we came together to do this great collaboration. 2 years ago, we had this very successful and very massive medical mission. And based on that, we still see that we should continue the collaboration. That is why for this ANPA 2025, Rotary is going to be so much involved in the planning, in the execution, and in the overall program execution. So it's one organization that we hold very dearly as a partner, and I'm sure with a Rotary partnership, you're going to have a very great leverage in terms of reach, in terms of human resources. We also have a huge human resource for them to use, to lean on. We have doctors, nurses, pharmacists. We'll put all this at your disposal when you come. So it's going to be another very big and successful mission this year.
Okay. Dr. Itumi, you are an honorary member. They haven't told us that you're a partner. So what exactly is your involvement in this?
Well, my involvement, obviously, as you know, I have strong relationships with ANPA. My twin brother, like you said, was president a few years ago. But more importantly, we've been advising ANPA about what I call the business of medicine, because you talk about doctors in diaspora coming back to Nigeria, but if you ask the best of doctors, they really don't open their minds to the business content of their skills. So what we've been doing is been to let them know that they should involve other sectors of the economy that they can leverage on to give them that basic infrastructure that can make this Japada thing really work. For example, a few years ago in Charlotte, we arranged a special session within their convention where we had then Governor of Central Bank, Sanusi, now Emir of Kano. We had Atedo Peter Side, I believe, Kim Bello Sage, Udo Udoma, and I was there as well. And what we were looking at was how do you make a business case, especially for all these lending institutions, all these other people who can see the business in medicine. I tell them very frequently, when you ask many of them, they're attached to big hospitals. They work, that's where they ply their trade.
Yeah.
But I tell them that these hospitals are owned by businessmen. The equipment owned by businessmen. They just bring you to ply your skills. We can do the same thing in Nigeria. So, but they need that nexus. So part of this convention, they will have a special session where they will also have discussions around how you can make a business case for this talent, huge, massive talent, over 4,000, like you said, to begin to ply their trade. Now, you know, many state governments, they're in the habit of building hospitals. You just go humongous stuff. Some of them well equipped, but lacking in manpower. Yeah, exactly. This is why you still see as late as our budget provision for medical trips abroad for civil servants, for service chiefs and all that. But if we make the business case and you can then create this nexus between the skills we're looking for and the infrastructure, I think it will give true meaning to this whole Japada syndrome in this highly specialized area of medical practice.
Well, interesting that one of the agenda is to encourage Nigerians to come back home. Doctor Etomi. You know, but then how about infrastructure?
Yeah.
I'm sure that Rotarians will understand the challenges because they get a lot of interventions, and the Nigerians in diaspora also have a faint understanding of the infrastructural gap. So how about that? Is there any role for ANPA, or is it just for ANPA to raise the issue so that government knows what to do?
It works both ways. There's a role for ANPA, and the role for ANPA will involve them lending their experience about what they have seen and what they have practiced and still practice abroad, because that gives you the standard and what you're aiming to do. But creating the awareness too is also very important. As I mentioned to you, when we had that business session, even the best of bankers did not see the business in medicine. So you find today that some of even the best hospitals, it's either a one-man show or somebody's running and they're trying to be everything. That's not their experience abroad. They just come in with their skills. Everything else back office is taken care of. Yeah. So how do you
there's a system to take care of that back end?
Absolutely. So we concentrate on their skills.
Yeah. Okay.
And all that, yeah.
Dr. K, in these interventions, as you said, have been going on for a while. Talk to us about the leadership ambit of this conversation, because we just ended a discussion with someone about leadership shift and redefining influence in the country. Speak to how this ANPA week can help to raise the stakes about leadership in the health sector, so that at least we can begin to cut down on medical tourism outside the country.
Yes, good question. And that's why, if you remember the theme I said, the first thing was leadership. And then, we talked about research.
Talk about it.
So, and I think the preacher, Sam Adeyemi, correct?
Yeah.
Hit it right on with the vision. And we need leadership in this area. And interestingly, we had some conversation with Lagos State government, which is where we're coming, and they have lots of infrastructure and lots of ideas to make Lagos a center of excellence in health. In fact, make it so that people will be coming here for care from other parts of West Africa. And then, so the will that they have to create a suitable environment for us to come, like what my friend Mr. Tommy was saying. A lot of us want to come back, but we need the basic things. Energy is a big factor with power. We need management is a big thing. So
you are in the right company. He knows about that.
Yes, and that's why he's one of our advisors.
That's the one.
That's one of the reasons. And actually, he's part of the local organizing committee, trying to get us to do these events, and it's been very helpful. So power, management of not just we build and manage, but sustainability. So we're going to have experts in leadership come, and we'll have a symposium, a roundtable session where we discuss this and ask tough questions to the government. Because as individuals, there's so much we can do, but we need that enabling environment. Even the last speaker mentioned whereby if you go to a bank, if I want to start a practice here now, I go to a bank for a loan, it's in high double digits for interest. However, if the government says, okay, this is a health fund that can help us, Japada, to establish and give us that enabling environment, believe me, a lot of us are willing to come back and stay. And that would then start shifting the mindset, which is also very powerful.
Yes. I'd like to stay with you.
Yes.
I don't know how long you've been plying your trade abroad, but you were the first person to mention Japada. So I'm going to ask you directly, when are you planning to Japada?
Oh, he just answered.
Good question.
So when is he planning?
Yes. Let me help.
Talking about anybody else.
Yes, actually, good question. People say, oh, Nigeria, most of the doctors, I'll say, yeah, most now, in the future will be less, that are in the diaspora were trained here.
Yes.
For free. This is me, I did not go to university here even. I will finish high school and went to the US. Did my college, did my medical school, did my residency and fellowship, and then have been coming back to give on my own. As we speak, I'm from Imo State, in my little town. Yes, I have a clinic there, I give back. Again, enabling environment. I have land I've bought near the airport, Imo Airport, that I'm hoping to be like my mentor and colleague here, Dr. Koyu, who owns ACE Hospital, to build it. But most of that money is from my savings. I work hard and I save, which there's so far I can go. I can put up the building, but that doesn't make the hospital. Based on my experience, where I've trained, you have to have the infrastructure, the equipment, especially power, I'm saying. When you do a business and you spend more than half of your income on diesel to power the place, then the business aspect doesn't make sense. So these are the things we're hoping in this conference like ours, that we can talk to our leaders and they can create that enabling environment or give us even a break. In the US, they give you a tax break, for example, to encourage businesses for a while to come and establish. And if we do it with one, then we can replicate the system and get more people the courage to come back. Yes.
Dr. Kukoi, I recall a governor saying that since doctors were jackpying, that all Nigeria needs to do is to groom more doctors, produce more of them, produce more nurses, so that even if the world takes some away, Nigeria will still have some. What do you think about that policy?
Well, for me, I think training a doctor takes time, so that kind of policy will not even work. But I think the more important thing is to encourage those who are here not to go, and also encourage those who are outside to come back. And they can only do that by improving on the infrastructure we've mentioned. Security, I think security is one of those issues that does not allow our colleagues over there to come down here. I think the issues are security, enabling the environment, and of course the business environment, the economy. Wasting a lot of money on building the hospital and maintaining it. By the time we solve all this, I'm sure most doctors will want to practice in Nigeria.
And then the issue
but thinking of
Band-Aid,
that will not work. And I think the minister was just trying to be funny at that time.
It could be a combination. We can train more people.
Let me now
we have to
your
take care of it.
expertise of the other thing that you are good at, because they have hit on your sector.
Yeah.
Yes. So, how is that sector planning to help this sector so that more of them can come back home and not give that as an excuse not to come back home?
Well, so many sectors in Nigeria are work in progress. Power, communications, so many different things. And I believe that since the policy to allow states participate more in the power industry has come into effect, many state governments are now taking over control of the regulatory aspect of the power industry, we will see a monumental shift in how power is managed. And also renewables, we're looking at solar, because some of these hospitals can actually be powered with renewables, because what that does for you, it removes the vagaries of on and off to protect those very sensitive equipment. That's so key. And the reason many hospitals suffer today is that they have sophisticated equipment that are so sensitive to voltage movements. And so you go there, they are not being used. We find them littered all over the country. So we believe a shift to renewables will give you almost 100% guarantee that those equipment will work. And that there's nothing that makes doctors happier than coming in and find that everything is functioning very well. So they can then concentrate on their skills.
Of course,
Now, I have a few friends who have come back since, First Cardiology, the guys at Evercare, even Duchess Hospital. They will tell you the grind is hard, especially on the power issue.
But it's been worth it.
But it's been worth it. The one I said it's been worth it, yes.
I suppose that's encouraging for you. That it's been worth it.
Yes.
Okay.
And some of our members have actually come.
Yeah.
Dr. Julius Oni, one of our orthopedic surgeons, just came back. And I think after the convention, that's part of the reason also for us to come here in April, so people can see.
There'll be business alliances.
That after that, more of us will then start Japada. And then live here with you.
ANPA.org is the website, and you can go there if you want to join them in April for the ANPA week, or if you want any other information about ANPA. It's all on the screen right now. Thank you very much for coming and telling us about this.
Thank you.
Dr. Clifford Eke, ANPA President, Dr. Wale Kukoyi, Rotary District 9111 Governor, as well as Dr. Barrister George Itomi, who is an honorary member of ANPA. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. Good luck, and we wish you all the best when you do come with your medical mission in April.
And you're invited to a convention now. It's at Eco Hotel.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Sunrise will return in just a moment. Do stay with us.